What will we find in today's Inkblot? And today I wanted to try again to make a composition that's somehow slanted. So I thought I'd just start with this pile of ink, let's call it, and then work out from there. And to be honest, I'm not really seeing anything at the moment. I'm a bit stressed and a bit tired. It's been I don't know if you can hear anything, but the house is full of noises. I don't know if the background noises make it through. So that is definitely a potential problem. But we work with what we have. And now I have this ink shape. It's growing out. And I'm wondering if I should make it into grays or if I should keep the black. And I think I will blow on it some more. See if something appears. Ooh! Now a lot more is happening. What's happening? I don't know, but a lot more. So let's start by just playing around with this. Maybe we'll find something while playing around. Seeing that these can be teeth. I don't think I'd want teeth up there. Let's just play around a little. Make similar shapes to the ones that are already here. Which is interesting because if you mix the different qualities of line work, like the brush line with the blown line, then things start to mix and you start to question, how is this done? You can see that this was blown, but how is this thing done? And this is fascinating because usually I have something. Today it couldn't be blanker. Couldn't see less in this thing. I'm trying to squint and I'm trying to find anything. And hopefully some of you are screaming at the screen like, oh, it's definitely a space cow. But I'm not seeing it. strange, strange, strange. My brain is not getting anything. Okay. And I guess this will be sort of a good lesson, hopefully a lesson to trust the process. But I don't know if it will be, because I'm still not seeing anything. I haven't felt this lost staring at Inkblots for a long time, and I guess the excuse is being stressed, is being tired, is being overworked, is being distracted by the background noises and people running around the house. But it's still a very uncomfortable feeling. And I feel sympathy with a lot of people who look at my work and say, no, I can't do that. I don't have the imagination. I think you do have the imagination. I think I have the imagination. But it's not always easy to find, and you start fearing doing it wrong. And that's okay. We all fear doing it wrong. And in a sense, it's stupid to fear doing it wrong, because there is no right and wrong. There is only what's happening on the paper. And right now, the irony is that I like this in itself. I think that in itself, these patterns are fascinating. But I don't like it as an image because I don't see the story. That's always what I'm looking for, is the story. I'm a story person. That's why I draw monsters. Monsters are a story. You see a monster and you're thinking, where did it come from? What does it want? Why? All of those things. Okay, so if I start just closing these shapes, around, ooh, okay, suddenly I don't know if I'm seeing something that makes sense, but I'm at least seeing something. This isn't making sense. I saw something. I might have lost it. Let's go find it again. Okay. This is almost like a thriller. Will I find it? Will I get where I need to go? So now I'm trying to start shaping these lines into something more specific. So I got to start imagining the shape. And this is the kind of stuff you can work on like for hours and hours and just. Yes. Oh, Jesus, this is going to be tough. I'm so afraid of drawing what I'm seeing that I'm afraid of saying it out loud. But I'm seeing this whole thing as a dress, a flowing type of dress with a sort of a cape. And then the head should be up here, and the arm should stick out here, and another should be here, but there should be some drapes here as well, drapery from the dress. And now I'm having to imagine the anatomy of this magical female creature thingamabob. And I'm thinking something like Queen of the Night. That's isn't that a nice enslaved song? Okay. If it's Queen of the Night, let's make her pitch black as the night. Now, getting these shapes in is what can mess up everything. Okay. I will do a little bit more shadows around here. And this will be one of the arms. And maybe get one more line quality in here. These broken lines. Like this. And up like this. Okay. I'm not liking that at all. Not liking it at all. Not liking that at all, but it may be fixed. And worst case scenario, I can just delete this video. But I am a little bit proud that so far while drawing, this is random ink drawing number 14, and I haven't thus far gotten a single one of them so bad that I had to stop recording. So every random ink drawing I've done in this series is every attempt at a random ink drawing I've done in this series. That's pretty cool. But it might have stopped with number 13, because I am not sure where this is going. Okay. Now I'm starting to see some hope. So one of the silly things about me as an artist is that I'm obsessed by perfection and getting all the technical stuff right, like the anatomy, perspective, all of that, and getting the flow and creating beautiful, flowing art. That is truly an obsession of mine. But the closer I get to creating something very technically sound and beautiful and right in every sense of the word, where to create these beautiful flowing brush strokes and things of that nature. The closer I am to it, the less I like my art. Also, I always want to push it towards a more technically accomplished, beautiful level. And when I get close to it, I get dissatisfied because I like my art having an element of the primitive, of the crude, of the things that gives art life, like cave painting or child's drawing, or comics by, like underground comics by people who haven't quite gotten to the skill level to tell the stories of their ambition level. That's what I like in terms of I want my art to almost look as if it fell out by accident. Like this person isn't really that good, but just boom, got this strike of brilliance. That's why I like a lot of these. I like a lot of these. I have to think. How is this person's? Okay. Now I'm just silent because I'm anxious for what if I get it wrong. Now I like it. So now there's a possibility of loss if I manage to mess it up. And I'm so close to messing it up. That's okay. Again. I'm thinking how the arm goes through this chaos of a dress and how the hand should be turned. And it's almost like not drawing anatomy, but hinting at it through these shapes and having the shapes look poetic in a sense. The shapes don't have to be right, they have to be poetic and readable. So you have to understand that this is a hand somehow, and it could be like almost like Bayonetta, who makes Bayonetta from the Sega games, Platinum games. Who is a witch who makes her clothes out of her hair by magic. Could almost be something like that. There's a twisting in this hand that I want to, or in this arm, that I want to hint at with the shading on it. Like this, yeah. Okay, I think I might be pulling this off. Dear God, I might be pulling this off. I don't quite know what it is, but I might be pulling it off. I might be pulling it off. These different textures I'm thinking having something like a city. And one of the most important things now is that I need to make a connection breaking this shape from one side to the other, and I think I'll try to do that with this X-Acto knife or razor blade. And if we can, that helps a little bit. And then some implied houses at nighttime over here. We'll just do sort of a silly medieval silhouette of buildings and be really loose. It doesn't have to be much of anything. It just needs to be house-like. It needs to be house-like. It needs to be house-like. And some windows here and there, and some lights, some windows, and just keep it a lot less square than it really should be, and also keep them in some strange places to leave the audience sort of almost guessing at where how these silhouettes hang together and how they combine and how and it just creates this nice shape here. Now, everything from now on in is going to be scary because I think there's something here that works, and landing the plane it's like a yeah, I think this works. We'll see when I remove the tape, but I think it works right now. making it even scarier for myself. One single of these drops going wrong, and it might be over. And I want this feeling that these are falling off her, in a sense. This is the night, in a sense, falling off. We'll take these drops and we'll again, any small thing can mess this up. Fuck this up. I'm still liking it right now. I'm getting some white gouache, which will go lovely on top of the ink. And we're going to spread. And we're going to just touch. Ooh, I almost messed this up because I didn't think about what I was doing. Absolutely nerve-wracking. Get these lines back. Otherwise, the effect is the opposite of what I want. Yeah, this works. Okay. Again, a few more. Here, a few in here. And I think we have a lovely little sketch, a random ink drawing called Queen of the Night. And now I can start breathing again. It's been scary. I think I pulled it off. Queen of the Night. And that is random ink drawing number 14. And it's done. Yippee! One of the longer ones I've done. Now, when you are watching this, I'm very close to launching my ink course, or my drawing course rather, called Mastering Ink Through Negative Space. There is a waiting list. You can get some percentages off, and you can get the news first when it's done. I'm very excited about the progress on it. And it's sort of based around how to get you to draw insanity like this, but in your way and in your style, and yeah, make it your own. That's the idea. So sign up for that if you want, and do support art. I'm an artist, so support me by buying my art, or by buying merch, prints, or just sharing my art. All my art is available for free use under a Creative Commons attribution license, so you can take this and you can use it as your album cover for your single, your EP of enslaved covers. You can do what you want with it, as long as you attribute me, because art is meant to be shared. But we also have to survive, so sign up for the waiting list for the course and buy some shit. Yeah!